Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation with some food for thought. Congress may be giving itself a raise. People are outraged. However, I say, good. Give yourselves a raise, but on one condition. Now, I get why people don't like the move by Congress. As a body, judged by productivity, especially as a function of collaboration, they underperform dramatically. Now, right now, there is yet another government shutdown looming Friday. And instead of passing even their pathetic excuse of brinksmanship that they do almost on a regular basis now, which is called a continuing resolution or a temporary funding measure to just get you through a short period, right? They're not even going to do that to end the year. Meaning, the Retrumplican majority have created a big, fat spending package. So much for cutting back. And almost all of it are things that should have been done way sooner. Here's just a taste. $100 billion in disaster aid, for those folks specifically in North Carolina living in tents. Only now they decided to do it? $500 million in child care, aid for farmers, criminalizing deep fake porn. Now, that's something that they really should have done a real long time ago. Francis Scott Key Bridge funding, allowing for the Washington Commanders to move their stadium to D.C. I don't know why that's a priority. But they do all this instead of doing the minimum, which is to just keep it going until the new Congress comes in. And they did so against the wishes of the almighty Musk, who said not to pass any bills until Trump takes office. And even Trump just threatened primaries for any Republican who votes for the spending deal. That's impressive, given, what we know of President Trump is he likes spending. He added $8 trillion to the national debt, and even he doesn't like this. Here's the main point. No one with Congress's job approval rating, which is like in the mid-teens, maybe high teens, depends on the poll, nobody like that gets a raise. It's hard to see how anybody like that doesn't get fired. Wait, they say, there's a 97% reelection rate. That means people are happy. No, it means people are trapped and that the two-party system is rigged to favor extreme candidates and incumbents. Their strongest argument for a raise is we haven't had a raise in 15 years, since 2009. And real median household income in America has increased 18% since 2009. Now, both of those statements are true, but take a look at the graph, okay? So is the fact that American median income was $68,000 in 2009. Pay for Congress was at $174,000, 155% above the median salary. Now, the new salary, the pay raise, if they pass it, would be $180,000. Still 123% higher than real median household income. So it's way out of whack. Well, another point they make is that, well, they have to pay for two homes, though, right, where they live and then D.C. They're just not telling you that they get reimbursed for D.C. living expenses and travel expenses to and from D.C. So why would I be for the pay raise? Okay, I'm for it with one condition. And here's what made me look at it differently. The 27th Amendment. It's the last amendment to the U.S. Constitution. It states that any law varying Congress's pay cannot be enacted until an election has intervened. Interesting side note. This amendment was first proposed with the original 10 amendments that became the Bill of Rights in 1789. It wasn't passed until 1992. That's why it's the last amendment so far. Why then? Well, people have forgotten about it, and then they were like in a fit of pique about Congress's low performance and giving themselves a raise, so they remembered this amendment and they wound up passing it. Now, before then, they could just give themselves a raise whenever they wanted, which is probably part of the reason they make so much more money than everybody else to begin with. So here's my pitch. You can have the raise, and it's going to take effect, not now, but after the next set of elections, which will be the midterms, as the Constitution demands. But here's my one condition. Between now and then, you do whatever helps all those who make less than you get the same raise. Find a way to reduce the cost of living so that people have more money in their pocket, or make changes that allow the economy to support more wages for the people who make less than you. How about that? Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.